Skinny Hardaway 17, back with another EP. And this breaking news. This breaking news to me at least. I reported on this earlier, but wasn't nothing to cement. This thing is cemented now, so I had to come. I had to do my due diligence, and give y'all this tea right here. Tea, this some breaking tea. I still got my some fight predictions to give y'all. But this breaking tea right here, we got goddamn Andy Ruiz and Luis Ortiz have made it official. They've officially made it official. They fight August 13th. This just came across the wire. This just came across my wire. So I want to come do my due diligence. We got Andy Ruiz Jr. versus Luis Ortiz set for August 13th. And I'm going to try not to get, into my breakdown this shit because I'm already in breakdown mode and all that shit. But like this one of these fights that I've been waiting on for real. You know, Luis Ortiz really only got his big chances, big opportunities, against Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder really the only guy who gave Luis Ortiz a shot. You know what I mean? Now we got Andrew Ruiz Jr. like I knew he would. You know what I mean? You could ask my guy Ghost. My guy Ghost probably somewhere around here. You can ask my guy Ghost. Me and my guy Ghost used to have these conversations about Luis Ortiz and Andrew Ruiz. And I was like, man, I know Andy ain't scared of that, man. But Andy moving. But Andy was moving like a guy, who didn't want to get in the ring with Luis Ortiz. It's getting so bad. I'm like, man, if there's ever a time to get Luis Ortiz, you know what I mean? It's now. Charles Martin and Luis Ortiz had a fight at the beginning of the year. You know what I mean? I think it was one of the more underrated fights of the year. You know what I mean? If we being real, to kick off the year. Go back and watch Luis Ortiz versus Charles Martin. That was a damn good fight. You know what I mean? If you asking me. But Luis Ortiz, for the first time, in a long time, even against Deontay Wilder, I wouldn't even really say that I saw a chink, in his armor. What I would say versus Deontay Wilder is that, Deontay Wilder, figured it out and he landed that punch. You know what I mean? You could arguably say that Luis Ortiz was winning, both fights, arguably with Deontay Wilder before Deontay Wilder, caught him with those punches that he caught him with. You know what I mean? So Luis Ortiz has always been a good fighter, and I know that he's a little older now, but even still, he's a good fighter. And at first, I did feel like Andy Ruiz was, tiptoeing. I felt like he was a little skeptical. I felt like he was a little hesitant in this, but I'm glad this one came through the rumor mill. At first, Andy Ruiz was supposed to fight, some guy named Tyrone Sprung, who I never heard of in my goddamn life. You know what I mean? Tyrone Sprung. He was supposed to fight some guy named Tyrone Sprung. And I was upset with Andy Ruiz because I had my guy Ghost in my chats, telling me that Andy Ruiz was scared of Luis Ortiz. And I like both fighters, Luis Ortiz and Andy Ruiz. You know what I mean? So I'm like, nah, man, Andy Ruiz don't give me, scared vibes. Andy Ruiz don't rub me as a guy, who afraid to fight, anybody. So I'm saying he's not afraid of that, man. My guy Ghost telling me he afraid of him, but I couldn't even knock my guy Ghost. You could ask my guy Ghost. I wouldn't even argue my guy back because Andy Ruiz was moving like he was hesitant to fight, you know what I'm saying, Andy Ruiz. But, this just came down. This just came down the pipeline, and this ain't a rumor mill. This is something, that's set in stone. This is confirmed, and this is agreed for. What's good? Shout out my guy Big Slugger. Shout out my guy Mo Cheeks. Glad y'all folks can make it. Can y'all do your boy a favor? Can y'all hit that like button when y'all roll on in? Greatly appreciate it. I'm in this joint, letting everybody know that Andrew Ruiz and Luis Ortiz have agreed on the fight August 13th in Los Angeles. In Los Angeles, you know what I mean? Depending on what fights happen around this time, I might try to slide to this joint. I'm going to try to slide to this motherfucker because I'm telling y'all, when I say I'm a fan of both these guys, I'm a big fan of both these guys. So I'm excited. That we got, this fight going. This is one of the, this is a heavyweight fight, and this fight matter. We just got Joe Parker and Joe Joyce. We just got Joe Parker and Joe Joyce, Battle of the Joes. They just signed the fight. They all ranked in the top 5, top 6 of the heavyweight division. You know what I mean? Everybody in mention. So this is a big fight for the heavyweight division. You also got Tyson Fury talking about. You also got Tyson Fury talking about retirement, this and that. You got the media and people trying to bring Deontay Wilder back and all that stuff, even though he said he retired. You know what I mean? I want Deontay Wilder to come back too a little bit, but that man said he retired right now. So until he say, that he coming back, I'm going to just take it for what it is and what that man said. What's good, Phil? Appreciate you sliding through this joint. I'm going to just take it for what it is and what that man said and just, take it that he retired. You know what I mean? But this is, big for the heavyweight division. We got Andy Ruiz versus Luis Ortiz, Joe Parker versus Joe Joyce. You know what I mean? So we finna get some moving and shaking. The heavyweight division is slowly starting to take, form. Is slowly starting to take a turn for the new bodies. You know what I mean? If Tyson Fury really is retiring, you know what I mean? Deontay Wilder has seemingly already retired. So we got Joe Joyce facing off with Joe Parker. We got Andy Ruiz facing off with Luis Ortiz. You know what I mean? Only OG that will be left is Alexander Usyk. It is up to, I'm pretty sure Alexander Usyk wants to get undisputed in the heavyweight division before he decides to call, it a career. So, and Alexander Usyk will have to see what happens with the WBC, before he would, step out the game. You know what I mean? But depending on how long it takes, Alexander Usyk could just be like, well, the hell with it and vacate, his belts and shit. You know what I mean? But Alexander Usyk will probably end up fighting, Joe Joyce or Joseph Parker for the WBC belt. Because Joe Joyce and Joe Parker are ranked number 2 and number 3 in the WBC, and they'll be fighting in the Eliminator soon. Then I posted when their day was, but I forgot one of my certainties. But they fighting this year as well. You know what I mean? So this is a fight with Andy Ruiz and Luis Ortiz that I didn't think that I was gonna get, but I'm glad that I got it. You know what I mean? So I'm looking, forward to this joint. And I will say this: I hate that it had to take so long for Luis Ortiz, to get his shot, to get his big shot. Because if he beat Andy Ruiz Jr., I most definitely could see, a tighter shot, in his future. And I don't really see Luis Ortiz retiring anytime soon. You know what I mean? I think Luis Ortiz is one of those people. He's going to box up until he can get a championship. You know what I mean? My guy Mo Cheek said the heavyweight division needs this, and I'm in the greens. And I'm in the greens with you, my guy Mo Cheek. This is something that the heavyweight division needs. And this is a fight that I didn't think that, I was going to get. To be real with you, I didn't think I was going to get the fight. It was looking like I wasn't going to get this fight. I mean, just a couple weeks ago, Andy was talking about fighting a guy named Tyrone Sprong. That's when I started to have doubts, about how Andy really is, hesitant, to fight Ortiz. I feel like a lot of people didn't want to fight Ortiz in his career, but I didn't think Andy Ruiz Jr., was one of those people. I always looked at Andy Ruiz Jr. to be a warrior. You got to be a warrior to step in on 2 weeks, 4 weeks notice, however many weeks notice he stepped in to fight Anthony Joshua, who was the seen as the best or one of the best heavyweights in the world at the time. You know what I mean? He had 3 belts, at the time that Andy Ruiz stepped in there, on a short week notice, and he beat AJ. So, it was never a question of whether I thought, Andy Ruiz. I never questioned in the past Andy Ruiz, heart or willingness to fight any goddamn body until, we got to Luis King Kong Ortiz. And the only reason that, I was even, bringing attention to Ortiz and Andy Ruiz because Andy Ruiz was saying that he will fight Ortiz. And Ortiz said that he will fight Andy Ruiz. So I was like, oh, yeah, that's a big fight in the heavyweight division. Shout out my guy, Fred Hall. Appreciate you sliding through this joint. That's a big fight in the heavyweight division. And I was like, shit, That's a fight that the fans would want to see. But then Andrew Ruiz ended up fighting. Who did he end up fighting? Chris Arreola. He ended up fighting Chris Arreola because Ortiz and Andy Ruiz were supposed to fight a few times. You know what I mean? But Ortiz ended up fighting Chris Arreola, and then he signed to fight Sprung. And then I kind of just threw that fight away. And then the IBF had some bullshit. I feel like with Luis King Kong Ortiz. Luis King Kong Ortiz fought Charles Martin in what was an IBF eliminator. But after Luis King Kong Ortiz was successful in fighting Charles Martin in said eliminator, they threw another eliminator at Luis King Kong Ortiz literally like 3 days after he beat Charles Martin. Luis King Kong Ortiz said, well, I thought I just fought a Charles Martin eliminator. I should be the mandatory, right? And then the IBF said, you either fight, Hergovic in a double IBF mandatory, or, you lose your status, I'm guessing, you know what I mean? So now they got Hergovic fighting people in IBF eliminators. My question is, how many IBF eliminators do these people got to fight? You know what I mean? So I'm glad that Andrew Ruiz and Luis Ortiz, are fighting, because that kind of puts all that bullshit, to bed as far as the IBF situation go, because the winner of this fight is going to be, in line for the WBC title, which may be becoming vacant if Tyson Fury decides, to retire. But even if he don't decide to retire, right now we got a mini heavyweight tournament going on, if you pay attention. You know what I mean? We got Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk in the air, right? But, we got these two fights, underneath them, 2 versus 3 and 4 versus 5. Ortiz and Andy Ruiz and Parker and Joe Joyce. So I'm guessing the winner of those 2 fights will fight each other depending on, what Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury do. But this year, we go get some question answers in the heavyweight division. Deontay Wilder. In the back of my mind, I want Deontay Wilder to come back. You know what I mean? Because I said this before, all the rumors and the talks got out about Wilder coming back or Wilder not coming back. I was saying this, before. Our only person I think could beat Deontay Wilder is Tyson Fury. So I think by him coming back, no one else will be able to beat him. But I understand why he would want to retire. That man has made hella money. He's done enough for boxing, and I don't got no problem with him retiring. Just a fan in me, want to see him, get that undisputed situation, because I wanted him to be, an undisputed champion. And I think he ran into, a lot of stuff. He ran into Tyson Fury. I think he ran into, Tyson Fury. I think Tyson Fury cheated in the few of those fights, but they're just me. But it is what it is. At this point, history is history. You know what I mean? But in hindsight, Deontay Wilder has did enough, to retire. But I think, especially if Tyson Fury retire, then the heavyweight division is just gonna have a huge. If Tyson Fury retires, it's gonna have a hole in it because he's the WBC champion. It already got a huge hole in it because Wilder has put out there that he's retired. You know what I mean? The best way to promote Tyson Fury really is, to talk about Deontay Wilder. Even with this past fight, they did a lot of, and I know Tyson Fury, fought Deontay Wilder and he beat him, but they promote Wilder as if, he's coming back. Every other word, out of Fury mouth a lot of times is Deontay Wilder. It's because you can't talk about Tyson Fury without talking about Deontay Wilder. You could talk about Deontay Wilder without talking about Fury, but you can't talk about Fury without talking about Wilder. You know what I mean? Because that is his best feat, and I give him credit for that, even though I feel like he cheated type deal. But it is what it is. But the heavyweight division right now is like kind of in the it's kind of like in the wind right now. We don't really know what's happening. Like we sitting down, we waiting on something big to happen. We see what Tyson Fury is, by himself. AJ has lost twice right now, so he's lost a little bit of his thunder. So we got the heavyweight division shaking itself out right now. It's kind of shaking itself out. We got some good news. just dropped Andrew Ruiz and Luis Ortiz Jr. have signed the fight August 13th. So we can put this on our calendar. It'll bring a little more, it'll bring a little more clarification to the heavyweight division. Now, the reason that I wanted Deontay Wilder to beat Tyson Fury in the first place is so we wouldn't even have situations like this. Why would my thing is, and I got certainty coming up about this too as well, not today, but in the future, why would Tyson Fury retire right on the brink of undisputed anyway? You know what I mean? But if you are going to retire, man, don't just see it. I want you to really retire, let the belt go so we could get everything moving and shaking, because you see the heavyweight division is already starting to put itself into place with these two big heavyweight fights, that we got coming up in the near future. So this kind of what the heavyweight division is right now. This is why it's a mess. You got Tyson Fury with a championship belt talking about retiring. You got Alexander Usyk, who's at war. He got 3 of the belts. We don't know when he coming back. We got the biggest star in the heavyweight division, probably the biggest star in boxing, you know what I mean, give or take, in Deontay Wilder, who has retired at the heavyweight division. So you got that in the flux at the top. And now we got the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, starting to move and shake, right now, trying to position themselves to get it in a title shot. Really, they in a position where they're forced to fight each other because they don't know what's really going on up top and what's going to happen. They could be dropping all the belts, you know what I mean? So the best thing right now for the heavyweight division, and I like that it's happening, it's for all of them just to fight each other and knock everybody off. And the guy who stands at the end, is going to be the guy who, fights the champion, either Usyk for the belts, or it's going to be the guy, who everybody sees as the best heavyweights, and the sanction bodies is going to be jumping the line, trying to cut the line to get in the belts. Let's say Andrew Ruiz, Luis Ortiz, right? Let's just say that Andrew Ruiz win that fight with Luis Ortiz, right? Let's say that Joseph Parker win that fight with Joe Joyce. You know what I mean? So the winner of Ruiz and Joe Joyce would be the hottest heavyweight outside of Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder. You know what I mean? Tyson Fury said he retired, and Deontay Wilder said he retired. So you kind of get what I'm getting at. We got a round robin. What's good, Ghost? My guy, I mentioned you earlier. Go shout out my guy Ghost. When I was talking earlier and I was talking about my guy Ghost, we were having this conversation. That's what I was talking about right there. This dude right here. This is what I was talking about right here. So the heavyweight who comes out of this round robin situation that's going on right now, with Deontay possibly being retired, with Tyson Fury possibly being retired, you know what I mean? With the round robin that's going on right now, whoever wins this is going to be seen as the biggest name in heavyweight at this point. You know what I mean? So it's like it's about time. I was saying earlier, like, I know Andy Ruiz is a warrior, so I knew he wasn't ducking Luis Ortiz. And my guy Ghost was telling me that, he was ducking Luis Ortiz. And I was like, man, I don't think Andy moved like that. So I'm glad Andy finally came on around and, he got his, stuff together and he giving the people what they want. He said, when George Parker, biggest heavyweight, both of them refused to fight King Kong. Yeah, but man, how it go. But we giving good fights, you know what I mean? Andrew Ruiz stepped up to the plate, giving us another big fight in the heavyweight division. This is what's good. The best thing in boxing is when the heavyweight division is rocking. I'm gonna say this shit again. The best thing in boxing is when the heavyweight division is rocking. You know what I mean? I hate the real reason I hate that Tyson Fury actually won this fight, because I knew that he was going to leave, boxing up in smoke. You know what I mean? I knew he was going to leave it up in smoke. If Wilder had won that fight with Fury, we know we'll be getting Wilder versus Alexander Usyk. If Alexander Usyk had to go to war, I guess we would have got Wilder versus White. And then if Alexander Usyk's still at war, we'll have Deontay Wilder. Fighting the best of the best at heavyweight. Not retiring. We'll have Deontay Wilder fighting Andrew Ruiz. or you know what I mean, some shit like that. Well, I had to fight Joyce or Parker because he said he want to fight all those guys before the fight with Tyson Fury. You know what I mean? He said that before the fight with Tyson Fury. You know what I mean? He wouldn't be saying, "Oh, I'm going to retire and leave the belts in the air." I hate that the situation happened with Alexander, but actually, Alexander Usyk is back over here. Alexander Usyk is back over here, and he about to fight Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? So the winner. So I'm just putting Alexander Usyk, in the mix. When Alexander Usyk and AJ got a fight coming up, not too long from now. So the heavyweight division is most definitely moving and shaking right now. But yeah, August 13th, Andy Ruiz and Luis Ortiz, man. This is the fight that the fans been waiting on. I know for sure Southern T and my people, we've been waiting on this fight. What's good, Lou? Appreciate you sliding through. Let me say what's up to the people that came in the building. What's good, Big Slugger? Appreciate you sliding through this jump, Big Slugger. Shout out to my guy Mo Cheeks. What's good, Mo? Appreciate you sliding through this jump, Mo. Phil Barry, what's good, Pimp? Appreciate you sliding through this jump, Phil. Terry, salute, Pimp. What's good, Terry? Terry said, "Oh shit, hell yeah, Terry, it's real, my G. It is real, my G. It is real, nigga. August 13th, we here. Yes, sir. We here. Mochi, I said what's up to Mochi. Fred House here, like button hit. Appreciate that, Fred. All y'all get like Fred. All y'all get like Fred for your boy and hit that like button. Greatly appreciate it. Say what's up to my guy Ghost. What's good, Pimp? What's good, Louis? Salute to you. It was good. Was good. The uncommentary. What's good, uncommentary? Appreciate you sliding through this joint. Just did this. This is a breaking joint. I wasn't planning on doing this one today, but I had to come in and do it. I ain't gonna be here too much longer. You know what I mean? But I had to come in, speak my piece. Now, I'm excited. Don't I sound excited? Because this is a fight that that I wanted. You know what I mean? I'm glad somebody outside of Deontay Wilder finally gave King Kong a chance. I hate that it had to take so long, but I ain't gonna complain over spoiled milk. Ain't gonna cry about spoiled milk. You know what I mean? A win over Andy Ruiz will put King Kong Luis Ortiz right back at the. He actually is at the top of the division right now. Top 5 heavyweight, top 10 heavyweight, top 6 heavyweight, top 3 heavyweight, depending on which sanctioning body that you look at. But a win over Luis Ortiz will put that stamp on. A win over Andy Ruiz will put that stamp on Luis Ortiz, and then a win over Luis Ortiz and a win over Anthony Joshua for Andy Ruiz. That'll make people, have to stop calling Andy Ruiz, a one-hit wonder. That'll have to make people stop saying, well, that one AJ win, was the fluke because you came back out the next fight and you lost. You know what I mean? That'll give him, a King Kong Ortiz win. King Kong Ortiz only got one loss. Well, he got 2 losses to Deontay Wilder. That's it. And the only person that beat Deontay Wilder was, Tyson Fury. You know what I mean? So there's no shame in losing to Deontay Wilder because their lineage is of the best of the best. You know what I mean? Ain't shit wrong with that. So we got Andrew Ruiz who's stepping in the ring there, to do some shit that nobody, ever done again. The first time he stepped in the ring to fight Anthony Joshua and he beat him. Now he's stepping in the ring to fight Andrew Ruiz, and we all know nobody wants to fight Andrew Ruiz. He only been beat by Deontay Wilder. You feel me? Appreciate your uncommentary. Just smash that like button. Yes, sir. Y'all listen to uncommentary and smash that like button for your boy. But yeah, this is the real thing. You know what I mean? I had dropped the Southern T. Hold on, let me see, because I dropped it. Let me see when Joe Joyce. Let me see. Appreciate you sliding through this joint, slip the jab. Glad you can make it, Pimp. Glad you can make it. If y'all haven't, make sure y'all check out my fight breakdowns and predictions. I did Kevin Hunter Jr. and Demarius Driver. I did Mo Williams and Cordell Booker, as well. Hassan Robin Jr. fight Tommy Morrison Jr., as well. Joseph Parker and Joe Joyce fight July 2nd. Alexander Usyk and Anthony Joshua fight July 23rd. And we got Andrew Ruiz and Luis Ortiz. They fight August 13th. So we got Joshua Usyk July 23rd. We got Joyce Parker July 2nd. And now we got Luis King Kong Ortiz to fight motherfucking August 13th. Boy, heavyweight division doing some real moving and shaking. Shout out my guy, Slip the Jab. He says, salute on this breaking news, T. I'm definitely down for this fight. Hopefully it's Showtime or free TV, but I don't got no problem paying for me either, Slip the Jab. Let's go on talk. We can talk about it for a little second. I don't got no problem paying for it either, you know what I mean? This is a quality fight against 2 top 5 heavyweights, right? Ruiz Ortiz, you know, we've been begging for somebody to fight him for years. Andy Ruiz, he beat Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? Boom. Now, both of these guys got questions to answer. It was a fight with Ortiz and Charles Martin in January. You know what I'm saying? That's the first time I feel like Ortiz showed, weakness. You know what I mean? Andy Ruiz fought Chris Arreola. Chris Arreola dropped him. He ain't been in the ring since. You know what I mean? He came back and tried to fight a guy named Tyrone Sprong. You know what I mean? That Andy Ruiz camp was putting out fake stories about fighting Deontay Wilder, just trying to build a buzz. Then you end up fighting Tyrone Sprong. You know what I mean? It was looking bad for a second. Boom. But now we got a good fight. And this is a pay-per-view fight. I ain't going to lie to you. It's a pay-per-view fight. If we get it for free, that's even better. That's even better if we get it for free. But this is a pay-per-view. This is a pay-per-view fight. You know what I mean? Shout out my guy Slip the Jab in the super chat. He said, by old media, we talked about this story like almost a month ago. Y'all late on this one too. Yeah, facts. Yep, facts. This story is in the archive. Shout out my guy Seen and Unseen Boxing. What's good, pimp? I just came here, to drop this breaking news. This news just came through the wire. You know what I mean? Y'all notice the heavyweight division right now? The heavyweight division right now is jumping, man. The heavyweight division right now is jumping. Did y'all hear what I just said? I need Ricky punches. Did you hear what I said? The heavyweight division is jumping right now, bro. We got Tyson Fury possibly retiring, right? So that's the story. This nigga probably retiring. Won't know what's going to happen with the belt. Tyson Fury possibly retiring. Deontay Wilder is possibly retired. You know what I mean? No Wilder, no Fury possible. Fury might come back. Fury might retire. Who the fuck knows? We'll know when we handle that belt situation, right? Now we got Joe Joyce fighting Joseph Parker July 2nd. We got goddamn Alexander Usyk fighting Anthony Joshua July 23rd. And we got Andrew Ruiz and Luis Ortiz fighting in August. We taking that step into the new days of the heavyweight division. We about to get even, like, the top guys are about to leave. So we about to get some of these older guys. They finna have to start mixing up with each other. And not only are they gonna have to start mixing up with each other, we forgot about the young up-and-coming prospects that they gonna have to start mixing it up with pretty fucking soon, because they right around the corner, if you being real about it. You know what I mean? You got Big Baby Anderson, who signed with Top Rank. You know what I mean? Right around the corner. Literally right around the corner. So eventually we're going to have to start talking about him fighting some of these guys. You know what I mean? We got a few heavyweights up there. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to be here too long. I just had to drop this breaking news, y'all, for sure, because I'm excited about this joint. This is a fight, that we've been talking about for a minute. We know Andy Ruiz been trying to get these big fights for a minute. We know Luis Ortiz been trying to get, these big fights for a minute. We know Andy Ruiz has been out the ring for a while. He hasn't been in the ring since Chris Arreola. You know what I mean? He was coming back to fight some guy named Tyrone Sprong. I was highly upset about him fighting some guy named Tyrone Sprong. So I'm glad, that fell through. And what do you know? Boom. Today, we get here with this news that we get King Kong and Andy Ruiz. So 2022 is shaping out to be a hell of a year for these fights, man. And this will be King Kong Ortiz' second fight, you know what I mean, of this year. But just in general, 2022 turning out to be a big year for these fights. And these are actual fights that are signed already. Not even talking about the fights that we could be getting in 2022. You know what I mean? Just this week This week we got Shakur Stevenson and Valdez unification. We got Devin Haney coming up for Undisputed in just a second. We got Jermell Charlo coming up for Undisputed in just a second. You know what I mean? So we this just another string of big fights, you know what I mean, that we've been getting this year. But that's all I got, y'all. I'm finna get out of here. Andrew Ruiz and goddamn Luis Ortiz fight August 13th. It's official, set in stone. Make sure y'all like this video. Check out my fight breakdowns and predictions. Ammo Williams versus Cordell Booker. I got Keith Hunter versus Demarius Driver. I'm about to hit y'all with Hassan Rodman Jr. versus Tommy Morrison Jr. in just a second. Make sure y'all tell a friend and tell a friend. You know what I mean? I appreciate all y'all good folks for giving me the 2K. We gonna celebrate the 2K sometime. I'm gonna let y'all know type deal, but I appreciate everybody that slid through this junk skin all the way Southern T. This ain't the past, this ain't the future, but this the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out. Look, shout out my guy on commentary, Slip the Jab, Ghost. All y'all folks that slid through this junk. Appreciate y'all. Be on the lookout for the new